some of our skills, for our skills acquisition program, which is our flagship program, is the major thing that we do every year. Some of our skills include fashion and design. So we screen people and then we send them off to their training centers. We have the catering and hospitality management as well. We have the HSC, Health, Safety and Environmental Program. Like I said earlier, that's strictly for graduates who want to use that to support their certificates, to support whatever qualifications they already have. And as you all know, we're in the Niger Delta region, so HSC certification is very important. They use that to get on vessels, to get on board, to get some jobs in the oil companies, since we are within that region. Recently, we also introduced the nails technology, so we have people who are in the beauty industry as well, who we sponsor to learn how to do professional makeup and nail technicians. We have the graphic artistry as well. We send them off to NIT. And I had also said that during our graduation ceremony, we also take it one step further and we provide startup packs for everybody every year that goes through us. So we try to set them up in the hopes that when they leave us, they automatically go into the market. Because it's one thing to train somebody to learn a skill, and it's another to equip them with the resources, with the tools that they need. So the foundation takes it a notch higher, and we provide those equipment or tools that each person or each skill that is that they must have learned. We have done this, we've been around for over 10 years, and we've done this consecutively every year. The panel session, the reason why you guys are here, panels as mentoring, is also one of our programs that we thought was very important to meet the needs of young women within our society, within this region. And our focus and our target was strictly university students, females in the universities. You wonder why women? Because we strongly believe that when women are empowered, when women are equipped, when women have the right knowledge in the society, our world, our society becomes better. And as you already know, when you train a woman, she looks after her home, she looks after her society. So we strongly believe here that these our panel sessions are designed to shape the mindset of female tertiary students, people who are already in universities, who are trying to pave their way, girls who may not be sure on their career path, or may have other hidden talents that they might be struggling with combining, or we know what it's like these days. We see students who are already content creators, we see students who are like this person here that has a position already taken up a leadership position. And we never can tell, you know, when you see some senators today, some people in House of Assembly, House of Reps, they started from student union politics. They started from the school, they started from the grassroots. They gained most of their experience from, oh, when I was in school, I led so-and-so team. When I was in school, I was at so-and-so place, and I heard this. And we believe strongly that information is power. So what you hear today, what the people who have passed through us have heard, we believe has helped again to shape their mindset. And then we discuss everything during this panel session. Like I said earlier, the students are the drive. Luckily today, we have a guest speaker who is going to speak on the topic, Accelerate Action. And that topic is simply because this is International Women, this is Women's Month, all day in March. And we decided to hold this program in line with International Women's Day, which was 8th of March, but it's happening on the 20th of March, because we're still in March, it doesn't matter. And the theme for this year is Accelerate Action. So she's going to share with us quickly what that means. And especially for you guys as students, so when you hear Accelerate Action, what does that mean for you people that are students? I mean, you can say, oh, I'm just a student, I'm here studying marine engineering, and I am so impressed with the diverse, I know there are some law students on their way, but before they get here, I just want to say that I am so impressed with the different courses everybody here. It feels like feels like a cocktail of the next generation. So we have marine engineers, we have quantity surveyors. So these are courses that, those days were male dominated precisely. I know that marine engineering was full of men and very few women. And even today, the maritime industry is still a male-dominated industry. So I'm very impressed that we have a cross-section of people, of young ladies, of all of you guys who are in your various departments. And I'm sure we'll grow up, we'll leave university to be great people with the information, with the knowledge that you hear. So that's the overall idea for our panel session. We've had some other ones in the past. This one we decided to do this year, and maybe we'll have another one subsequently in the year. But for now, we are here now, and then we'll just carry on. So I'll quickly introduce you guys to our guest speaker for the day. Make sure you ask her all the questions because she's very learned, she's very experienced, and make sure you feel free. It's a very relaxed program. We want you guys to get the best of it, and make sure that you leave here with a different mindset. Make sure you get something out of here. Make sure you hear something, as we say in our churches, that will be a blessing to you. So you guys, please permit me to invite our big auntie, who is very precious. She had a meeting for 1 p.m. That's why she's dressed like this. Because from here, she's already running to another meeting around here. But we had to drag her just for, I don't know how much time she will have to spend with you guys. It's entirely up to her. So please, with a round of applause, if you don't mind, a standing ovation as well for Mrs. Her Majesty, because her husband is actually a king. So Her Majesty, Mrs.
Okay. Good afternoon, my beautiful young ladies. Please take your seats. This is our constituency. You are special to me, so I was going to break all protocol to be here. Call it girl power if you want. It's our month. We have to look out for ourselves, don't we? Okay, so my name is Ine Serena Dokubo. I once was a student like you. I hope you all are trying to make sure that you soak up everything there is to soak up about university life. Because it's not just the academics. Just as Fama has said, whether it's student union, it might even be some extracurricular activity. It might just be your elective courses that you pick an interest in, and then you run with it. You never know, you might just be excelling in that area, even though you had a chosen career or you opted for a particular course as you went into uni. Okay, so professionally, I'd say I wear many hats. I told you I was once a student. I was once in that bracket where I wasn't quite sure what I wanted to do with myself. Sometimes daddy wants you to be an engineer, or they want you to be a lawyer, or they want you to do something here and there, and you want to do something else you have a passion for. But let's be sure that we have a passion for that thing we really want to do. We're not just going along with because our friend wants to do it, and so we filled our jam forms and we're doing it. And so I trained originally as a journalist. That was my passion. I wanted to become a bilingual journalist. And when I trained, that was in the era when we had fantastic investigative journalism. I don't know which of you knows about Newswatch. Did you ever hear about Newswatch? Okay, it was a very long time ago actually. Okay, so they were motivation to me. I trained, as I say, as a journalist originally. I worked with Newswatch briefly, Daily Times, and then Newswatch. We still have Daily Times. It's one of the major national newspapers, And then I found myself wanting to be a bilingual journalist, so I opted to study French. And then when the admission letters came, I got combination of French and education. I actually wanted French alone as a language, you know. And I got French and education, but I grabbed it. And I went in and did a degree. Again, you're never too old to learn. And thereafter, you know, I did so many other things here and there. But in course of all of that, I got married. And then the children came along. But I needed to give some time to my family. So I had to step away from mainstream work. But what did I do? I had a passion because I used to bake cakes and do all the confectionery at home and for free. But then I realized that I could make money out of it and still have time for my family. And so I went into confectionery. And I trained, not just informally as I was doing, because I picked up the interest, of course, from your parents, you know, baking at home, cooking and all of that. But I actually went to train for it properly, you know. And that training actually was happening while I was pregnant and expecting my first child. I went for the formal training. And even after I had my baby, I used to take her along with me for my culinary classes. And so I found myself doing something I really loved. You know, when you have a passion for something, what do? You find yourself soaked up in it. You throw everything into it. You know, so that's been the journey. And along the way, I got into mediation. I'm a trained mediator. Who knows what that means? Can we guess? Okay. You have an issue with her. You need someone to settle that dispute. You don't want to have to go to court. You know, so as much as you can, you want to settle it out of court, but as amicably as possible. So it's fair to both sides. And so it's called mediation. There's a body, Institute of Chartered Mediators and Conciliators. It's not for lawyers only. It's for everybody. If you're willing to, many of us have those skills, but we don't know. So you've got to hone in those skills. But I haven't had the training. You find that there are lots of things you can do. In fact, every day, everywhere you are, you're mediating without realizing it. You know, even without answering a name, you're doing mediation. Nowadays, I've split my time between being a homemaker. I have children like you. Some of them have graduated already, but I still have some who are in school like you. And so I think I understand the stage that you are in, and we'll go this journey together. So I'm a homemaker, I'm a mother. I currently am a member of the Judicial Service Commission in Bayelsa State. And I was honored to be chosen by the M&G Foundation to be here today to share with you. I'm hoping that this will be a brief interactive session and we'll have something to take away with us. I'll be learning from you too, because it's never too late to learn. I'm sure there's something you can teach me too, just as we care and share. Remember, it's us. We've got to look out for each other. It's our month. And what's the topic for today? Accelerate action. I'm sure we all have our devices here with us. I've told you it's an interactive session. Okay. So can somebody just check and read to me what it is? Okay, give me your understanding of it. If you want to look in your phone, you can. I'm going to let you do that because we're sharing. You know, we want to be able to, it's a very powerful tool. We want to use it to achieve a lot. We're not only going to use our phones to take our pictures, our selfies and post on social media. We're going to use this to break boundaries for ourselves. Are we on the same page? Okay, can anybody give me a definition, what you understand at all by accelerate action. Are we here? Are we together? Do you want to try? Who wants to try? Okay, let's have you try. Give us your name before you go on.
You need to act fast. Like you said, learning is never, we're never too old to learn. So since you went to school at some certain age, you feel like we're not too old to learn, then I feel like you accelerated the action by going back to school. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, I'll just give you something brief. As we all know, this is International Women's Month. Accelerate action. This theme has been chosen, and it's for all of us women all over the world to celebrate ourselves. So, collectively, all of us together, we can accelerate, speed up action for gender equality. Gender equality, are we on the same page? Do we understand what gender equality is? Can somebody, we're interacting. Can somebody tell me? Yes, please. Your name and then.
My name is King Holidays. What I understand by gender equality, in the sense that the male and the female, everybody's equal before the law. Anywhere, everybody's equal. Nobody's superior to each other. No gender is superior to any gender.
Thank you. Let's clap for her. So before the law, we're all equal. But how do we achieve that? Remember that from time past, it was a man's world, not so. To a large extent, it still is. How are we going to accelerate action? How are we going to run? Run with what we have and help ourselves. So we increase the momentum. We all did sports at school. And then when you have to run and catch the bus or the taxi or whatever it is. Mom is calling you and you were walking and then you hear her voice. What do? You speed up. How are we going to speed up as it concerns us in our lives? What things can we do for ourselves? That's the whole idea of the theme for this year. So that's one of the things. I hope we're noting the different points. That's one of the things. The other thing is, as I say, it's been a man's world. And so there's systemic barriers. The system, the entire, wherever you go, you're just shoved aside or, treated as if you're less than a man. How do we achieve that? How do we move ourselves beyond that? Can we just take examples? Do we understand where we're going, where we're coming from and where we're going? In uni, you're in class. I'm sure all of you have people of the opposite gender in your classes, in your courses, in your year groups. I'm sure we have some girls who are excelling beyond even the boys yes, we have some. And it takes being bold. What does it take? You put in a little more effort. It's not because we're dull. Remember at home, most of the times, your brother is allowed to do whatever he wants to do, but you have to go into the kitchen, you have to do this, you have to do that. Isn't that so? But in spite of all of that, you can still make time out for yourself and study, follow your passion. Microbiology? Quantity surveying, yes. And there are a lot of young women, even older women now, in quantity surveying, and they're excelling, they're doing very well, So in our personal and professional lives, it's important, if we really want to accelerate action, we're going to begin to take steps, to make sure that we're doing better than where we started from. If, for instance, let's say you were studying and you were doing say 1 hour every day as extra time to study. You can make out time, take 2 hours. Look out for your classmates, your course mates who are stronger in a particular aspect or in a particular course. Make friends with them. There's nothing to be shy about. Be friends with them. Because if you walk into your, if I walked in here and I just, just walked past, you would say, let her be on her jolly way, wouldn't you? But if you're walking past and then you say to somebody, oh, hello, good morning, that's in class, after the lecture. As the lecture is happening, you're hearing people ask questions. Don't be shy, ask your question. Look for that girl or the young guy who understands the subject better, but don't let him feel you're less than him. Because before you go to have that interaction after classes, you can form a study group. Before you go for that interaction, make sure that you've studied a bit. So as you're asking questions, you're coming from a point of, okay, this is what I know. What do you know? And when he sees that, that young man sees that you too have something to give, won't he respect you? We've had on campus, we've had situations where even the boys make friends with girls in their courses. They just like to be your friend because they know that you have something up here. They realize that. So you see them calm down and then they appreciate you. Isn't that so? So that can happen in every area. If you have a passion for something, what do we do? Sorry? You work towards it. How do we work towards it? I've come with some material, so we'll practice something today. This is March. I'm sure on the 31st of December 2024, crossing over to 2025, we all had New Year resolutions. Who had a New Year resolution? You don't have? We'll find one. Okay, I'll put the microphone down and we'll start an exercise quickly. Let's have the cardboard, yes. How many are we here? Come on. Yes. So you cut this up for everybody. Okay. Just two. Yes. Get some more cardboard. So what are we going to do? If you had a New Year resolution or you have something you're passionate about you want to do. You have a New Year resolution. You have something you're passionate about you want to do. I learned this not too long ago, and from somebody who's young enough to be my child. But I was willing to learn, and I've learned from it, and I want to share with you today. So we should all have it. Okay. Everybody get it. We know that even as young women, men, women, the whole world, the companies are all beginning to prepare for us because we've been speaking out. So it's not enough for us to just speak out, but we really have to speed up our actions with improving ourselves, and so we're able to compete favorably with the men. If you are doing excellent in whatever you're doing, you know it doesn't matter whether you're a man or a woman. They will look for you. The companies will look for you. Even private people will look for you. I'm sure you've been to events where they say, oh no, I don't like this caterer, I prefer the other caterer. You make clothes, you have tailors. There's somebody whose style of making the blouse you prefer amongst your 3, 4, 5 tailors who do things for you. You see your friend's outfit, you like it. "Ah, I want to have this made." She takes you to her tailor because that person sews that particular style very well, isn't it so? So what's going to happen? That tailor will be making the market, even if it's just that style. He'll be making the money from it. So why can't we do it too? You have enough. Does everybody have? Okay, I've said this is an interactive session, so I want us to do something together. You have your piece of cardboard paper. Can you wave it? See how colorful you're looking. I know you're tired from coming in from lectures, I understand that. But I see you're keen for us to do this. So let's go. So, here we go. Now, right, you draw a circle, a big circle, at the center of your, like so. Have you made your big circle, the center, like so? Do we all have our big circles? Okay, and in that circle, you're going to write something that you're passionate about. It could be your New Year resolution, something you decided you wanted to be able to do better, or you've been trying to do it and you haven't succeeded in doing it. Just whatever is on your mind that you want to work on as an individual. Even if you have other things, you can write. But start from that center, because you can have different things you want to do. Anything that comes to your mind, even if it's just as simple as waking up early enough to be able to meet your some lectures are very early, not so. We have some very early lectures, and sometimes it's so hard when you've been reading through late into the night, and then you just can't get out of bed to get ready early, even if it's as simple as that. Okay, let's go. So do we have something now? I'll show you mine. Can you, I don't know if you can read it. I didn't write it bold enough. Stop procrastinating. What does it mean to keep postponing things? I'll do it later. I'll do it later. And I've decided that this year, I'm not just going to be doing it later. I'll do it now. I'll do what I have to do now. I won't wait for later. If there's anyone who's joined us, we can give them. Just, there's, okay. For those who've just joined us, grab a pen. You have cardboard here. We're trying to do something. It's an interactive session. You have your cardboard. So draw a circle, a big circle at the center. And then write something you have a passion for. Anything. Anything you have a passion for. Or even if it's just your New Year resolution, this thing, I want to achieve it this year. Okay, can we run? We have to accelerate. Can we run? Are you there? Right. So I'm showing you mine. Stop procrastinating. You're going to, come on, hold this up for me. Stop procrastinating. Do it. I've said to myself, I don't want to keep waiting. Oh, I'll do it tomorrow. You know, it feels like tomorrow will never come. There always seems to be a lot of time. So you wait until tomorrow to do that thing. That thing you want to do tomorrow, why don't you do it now? That's what I want to achieve this year. So you're going to put arrows here. This is 1, this is 2, this is 3. What are the things I need to do to help me stop pushing things forward? Can somebody help me? I need help. Yes, please. Yes, please. Go on. Okay. I've said I should do it. So you're reminding me I should just do it. So what are the steps I can take towards doing it? What are the steps I can take towards doing it? Getting it done. Yes, please.
Most times you might be in the school. So what I do when I have something to do, I set alarms.
Okay. So someone has taught me something now. Set reminders. Ah, set reminders. Like using your alarm. We've come back to it. The power of our devices, because it's always around us. Thank you. Yes, someone else was going to teach us something. Yes. Thank you. You said something, but it's not only in academics. Even in our daily routine, we should actually give ourselves some sort of timetable. Yes. If you, okay, so I'll just, for ease of time. So I say timetable here. There's still more coming. You see, a lot is emerging. Yes, please. Let's take, those hands were up before you. You see, I've learned another one. To be persistent. I should just keep trying. I should just keep pushing myself. If I do that, I'm accelerating, aren't I? So even if the alarm didn't wake me up, and suddenly I found that the alarm had rung some 30 minutes ago, just go on, do it. Yes. I want someone who hasn't said anything before. Yes. Please. Thank you. So, Time management. It will also share. They are linked, aren't they? Having the timetable and managing the time. Yes.
I'm using myself as an example. As a teenager, I used to hate washing plates. I could do any other thing, but I would not do dishes. I would always say, I'll do it tomorrow, I'll do it in the night, you know. And then there's this thing my mom always says to me, one thing at a time, that done well. So wake up and do it. Even if you don't, you feel like, ah, God, this is so much. Don't look at it. If you look at it, it might be so hard. And if you think about it too much, it would still look hard. So just do it. Like, don't think about it.
Thank you. Yes, go on. Go on.
So there is a Bible scripture that says prayer without work is dead. In as much as you're making efforts to excel, always make sure you pray.
Okay. So we're coming here to say pray about it. We pray and we believe God that He will give us the grace to achieve what we want to achieve, not so. Any other contribution? Think of the benefits. Think of the benefits. That means you're thinking about where you're going. Imagine that we're accelerating, running the race. So we're looking at the finishing line, what we want to achieve. So, destination. Or we call it achievement. That's what we want to achieve, isn't it? Okay, now let's go. Because we trust God, we always need to pray about it. But there's something else we must think about. Does anybody want to share what they have? Is anybody willing to share with us so we can work together? Just give us an example. You just stand up and say what it is you want. Your goal, what you want to achieve. Just say something, anything. Okay, she says she tends to quit when things look like they're tough. Okay. Anybody else wants to share? What's your brand? Tell us.
So my brand, I do that's I call it my brand. In my brand, I run a paint industry. I produce paints.
Beautiful.
And then also in my brand, I also do what I love to do, talk. So host events, like events.
Beautiful. Okay, so we've had two of us have given us examples. Okay, so what do we do? The next thing you do is you cut out, you can practice this at home. You actually cut out some more cardboard and stick on this. Always make sure you have a wall somewhere in your bedroom where as you wake up in the morning you can see what you've written out. Because remember, it's not just a dream, you want to achieve it. You set out to do something, you don't want to fail, do you? No, we don't. I want to be able to stop procrastinating. So I've started the procrastination again. Have you noticed? I've moved from the 5 a.m. I set to 6. That's a whole hour. Am I missing the mark? Yes. So we see the importance of setting realistic, goals for ourselves. So much as you want to achieve something, you really have to be truthful to yourself. You know, so I see now that, okay, it won't work for me to wake up at 5. So I'm going to put it at 6. But it doesn't stop me from leaving the time, my alarm, to still go off at 5. It can go off every 20 minutes. Because gradually, I'm going to be able to learn to wake up a little earlier. You'll struggle initially, you're human. But it will, over time, you find that you're going to be able to begin to do it differently. So even though it seemed like a struggle, I seem to have failed from the beginning, we get to that point where, yes, indeed, we get to that point where, yes, indeed, we're able to meet our goal from the beginning. This goal now is beginning goal. Remember, at least let me be able to wake up early. So now I'm beginning to work towards that. Gradually, you'll find that from 6 a.m. I'm able to achieve that 5 a.m. It becomes a way of life, because at that point in time, I really need to be waking up early enough, you know, to be able to achieve my goals for the day. You know. And then, because I will be persistent, I'll keep trying. I won't just go and say, okay, I can't make it at 5, I'm switching to 6. I won't give up. We don't give up. You just keep trying. And then every time you look back at yourself and say, have I done this right? Is this working for me? Sometimes it just might not work, because if you've studied your thermodynamics test tomorrow, good. You have to go back, because you have to get back to school and prepare for that test. And you studied late into the night because for some reason it was flowing. That happens, not so. It was flowing at that time of the night. And so you just kept studying because you were absorbing, you were understanding what you were studying. And so instead of going to bed at 10, you went to bed at 2 a.m. But the exam is at 8 a.m. in the morning, isn't it? And you still have to get up, do all your basic things, and at least throw something in your mouth before you go in for that test so you don't pass out in the exam. Okay, good. So what are we going to do? Because we slept at 2 a.m. Can we really push it for 5 a.m.? Am I going to change my time? What do I do? I stick with 5 a.m. on my alarm. And then because you're mentally prepared for it, because you know, all of this takes a lot of mental work. You have to psychologically prepare yourself for this thing that you want to try and achieve. So I'm still going to leave my alarm ticking off at 5 a.m. just so that whatever happens, I can, worst case scenario, make it at 6. What else can I do to help myself? Because I've been studying till 2 a.m. I'm exhausted. By the time I went to bed, I was exhausted. What can I do? What can I do? Am I getting help? Okay. It's still with this device. I'm going to call my friend. She does not necessarily have to be my course mate. She could be my friend who's somewhere else. It could be an older friend, a younger friend, just somebody you know you're close to. And I'm going to say to her, please, can you set your alarm and just make sure that I wake up at that time? If you have a roommate or a flatmate, you can say to her, please, I want to be up by this time, because you know you have to really get up, get yourself ready for your exam, do a bit of revision, and then before you go in for the exam. So I want to be able to achieve all that. So I will stop procrastinating, and I'll make sure that I'm going to be able to get up in time to meet my obligations, make my little breakfast, do a little thing that you can really, even if it's just a cup of tea, you grab it and you go, So I'm still being persistent by talking to other people to make sure that I don't miss out on that initial thing that can trigger, that can make everything go wrong, which is my time. Now, I'm going to make sure that on that morning, part of wanting to achieve things in time, I'm going to make sure that I get up. If I would take my time and have my bath for like 20 minutes, I'm going to make it brief. Won't I? Yes, I'm going to make it brief so that whatever happens, I can finish everything I have to do. Just assign a little time to everything So that's why we've come to, we say we're linking our timetable to time management. Because remember, on this board now, we would have drawn up, we've set up all these things, and then we'll even do something more elaborate, which will be, 5 a.m., wake up, I pray, and then 5:15, I put my clothes together. If possible, I should have put my clothes together from the day before, so I don't have to worry about that, So, one thing leads to the other, and to the other, and to the other. So those are the things that are important with managing your time, even though you have a timetable. You can have sometimes you have a timetable, but it doesn't quite work out. Isn't it so? Yes, it does happen. But even when you lose out one day, you say, tomorrow it's going to work. That's persistence, isn't that so? Thank you. And then, what do I really want to achieve? Because if I've woken up this morning, having studied till 2 a.m., and I succeeded in waking up early enough to do all the things I needed to do, and then still have a bit of revision, even if it's just with some of my course mates, just before you go in for your test. You just ask questions, not so, questions and answers. Oh, what's the definition of this, or what's this, or what's that? You don't do that anymore. Everybody's smoking. Their brains are hot. You talk, you forget it. Well, for some. I'm sure you have some others too who would want to come and ask you. You don't want to share. You should care and share. Okay, now, so the important thing is, these are the things I want to achieve. So I'm going to keep pushing, I'm going to keep driving myself. But now, we can put this down now. I'm sure, for instance, what's your name? Please. Peculiar. What does Peculiar want to do? She's made up her mind that this year, she'll focus on her brand and she'll keep improving. So what are we going to do? Let's walk around her dream. Can you step out? Thank you. Okay, let's work together. So, she wants to build her brand. She wants to be more focused. Create what? Business space? Okay, she wants to create a business space. It's all part of building her brand. She's written a few things around, but it's part of building her brand. So what are we going to do? How are we going to help her, accelerate? How are we going to help her accelerate? Yes.
Okay, in terms of building her brand, she said she's into paint making. So, as people normally say, you have to be current with what is happening. Like maybe people feel like, for now, people like oil paints. This washing, there's a paint that even if they paint it on the wall, you can clean it if there's a stain. I don't know the name of the paint, but
she's just told us. It's called silk paint. Silk paint. You can just rub it off with a damp cloth.
Yes. So she can try to know the audience, to know her targeted audience, what they like, what's happening on the internet, how to look forward to what people want so that they can come to her.
Do we all share the same view? Yes. Thank you. So we're going to be looking at, Peculiar is going to be thinking about her market, people who want that, and she's going to make sure that she's also, as she's manufacturing her paints, she's going to make sure that she's giving it her best. She'll be comparing herself with others in the market. She's going to reach out. She's going to use this device. She's not just taking pictures of herself. What picture do I expect to see of herself? Because I'm going to ask after today. What do I expect to see on her social media display? I expect to see her in her coverall doing some demonstration about her paint mixing. Tell me why, if I see a young lady like this who's determined and is willing to do something that I know I like and I need, Why won't I go for it? Would I go for it? If she's good and she's good at what she's doing and she's probably even better and showing more commitment at what she's doing, I would go for it. What are the other things we can do to accelerate her business?
Reach out to individuals in need of our products. For instance, she makes things. She can also reach out to people in the built environment because those are the persons that needs her services most likely here. So reaching out to those persons gives her more audience, more skills, and more income. So reaching out not just to targeted audience, people that are not your targeted audience, but they need your resources.
They need your service.
Yeah.
They need your service. So that's the thing. So she's going to make sure that whatever she does, her paint is what everybody needs. It doesn't matter whether you're tall, whether you're short, no matter how beautiful you are. If your paint is good enough or better than what they see in the market, they'll come for that product. Are we wrong? We understand this. So it's important that whatever you're doing, concentrate on it. Make sure that you're the best of yourself. So what are we going to be improving on? Whatever we've written down, we want to keep getting better. You're a quantity surveyor, you want to excel, you want to do it. Ask questions. Look out for people in the profession. Go online. Quantity surveying professionals, for instance, in Port Harcourt. Holiday is coming. You can just Google, check, go online, interact with them. Say you want to come and do 1 month. They don't even have to pay you. Let them see that you have a passion for what you want to do. And that could make all the difference. What's the other thing you want to do besides the quantity surveying? There must be some other thing you have a passion for.
I have a brand.
You have a brand. And what's that brand?
I make beaded accessories.
Sorry?
Beaded accessories.
Beaded accessories. And that's such a beautiful, because we all want to bead or something here or there, even if it's just your hair, even if it's just an accessory that you can put on your clothes. We know how useful those things are now, and people like them. But if you do it very well, this is a tool. It's not just for making calls. It's not just for chatting on WhatsApp. It's not just for taking selfies. Make sure that selfie counts for you. Make sure that selfie is not just showing how beautiful I am. No. That selfie should tell your story. That selfie should sell your brand. Very soon, people will be looking for you on social media, not because it's not about your pretty face. Your pretty face is just a plus. I don't mean it in a demeaning way, but make sure that the skill you have is so good that they're not going to be looking for. No, it doesn't matter what they think of you. In fact, even if the person hates your guts, that girl, I don't like the way she carries herself, but that matters, in your brand. I don't like the way she behaves, but your product is so good that they can't help themselves. So that's very important. Okay? Have we learned anything here from each other? Yes. What have we learned? What have we learned? Just in summary, can somebody tell us something? What have we learned? Yes, please.
I've learned that we should avoid procrastination and most importantly, believe in yourself that you can do it.
Believe in yourself that you can do it. So what about if you're trying so hard and it doesn't seem to be working? What do we do?
For my part here, in line with what I do. So personally, I procrastinate a lot. So what I do is my alarm is from 3:30 to 7 a.m. 30 minutes gap. So even before the 30 minutes, it's derailed, like every 5 minutes it will be ringing from 3:30 to 7 a.m. So I believe in persistence. And then when you're not being persistent, like for a brand, a growing brand here, there'll be some months, some weeks without sales. But you just have to keep showing up. People should know that you're there. Just keep showing up. Whether you're having sales or not, you're getting better or not, keep showing up. That's in line with politics. Yeah, I do student politics and stuff. So if you just keep doing it, whether people are accepting or not, just be doing it. They'll one day see your relevance. So I just think persistence is just everything that has if you're persistent, everything you want is definitely going to come. And then relevance is another thing. If you're doing some, like, I believe you don't have to look for money. Relevance brings you money. So if you're not relevant, you cannot have money. People give money to things that they invest in things that they think have an impact to them or something close to that. Yeah. So if you're not relevant, there's nothing going to you're not going to attract wealth, good things or stuff. And another thing is the kind of relationship you keep with people. Yeah. Being relevant doesn't mean you have good relationship with people. So these things work together. Your attitude, your everything works in line with your relevance. You might be relevant and you're rude. This girl has what I'm looking for, but her character, let me look for someone else, even though I'm getting less. So if you're relevant, your character has to be relevant also. So that's kind of like an inch.
Thank you, thank you. Let's clap for her. Let's clap for her. Remember, we're all participating. So what have we learned from her comment? What have we learned from her comment? Okay, speak and then we'll take both of you together. Go on. And put it close to your mouth. You can hear me better, not so. You can hear me better. Thank you.
Good evening, ma'am. Okay, what I learned today is itemizing things to do.
Itemize them,
yes. I came to understand that things not written out is actually can never be achieved. You can't dream of doing something without writing it out. And once you write it out, you tend to time it. You can't achieve anything without putting time to it. That's what I've learned today.
Okay. You want to say something? Okay, so yes, we've heard from both of them, and we're seeing that whatever we do, we have to be persistent. Okay, there's something else. I talked about, you have to keep learning, training, just keep learning and getting better at whatever it is you're doing. If it's a professional area, look out for places where you can do internships. I just used yours as a case study. And I said, look, go online, look out for other places where you can go in and do internships. You know that this vacation is coming. So even though you have something else you're doing, but you also want to excel in the QS you're doing. So you just need to keep training and getting better. And you need other people in the profession who have gone before you and who have succeeded, who have excelled. So you just keep learning and getting better. It doesn't matter, once you're humble enough to learn, and they see the commitment you have as you come in, even if it's, many times as younger people, we feel that we have a lot of time. So when you go into a place for internship, or perhaps it's your youth service, don't take anything for granted. Remember that there are other people who've gone for youth service, who've been retained. Even if you're not retained, they could recommend you. Because if your personal conduct is proper, your professional conduct, you're excelling, you're doing it, but you're doing it well, and you're a good learner. If you're a good learner, of course anyone you've worked with will want to recommend you. There was this young lady who came to do an internship with us. In our time, that happened a lot. Holidays would have applied to different places because you don't want to sit at home. Even if you didn't want to run the errands, even if it's just because you didn't want to run errands at home. But at least, yes.
I did architecture.
Yes.
in Bori,
Yes.
yeah. And then I had a 1-year internship before HNZ.
Yes.
So where I currently work now as a student architect, it's where I was retained
Beautiful.
as like studying architecture, the internship before HNZ, then I moved to the university. The internship there, I was retained. I was the only student that was retained, and currently now I work there as the only female student. I work as an architect. And then another thing is volunteering. You don't want to do it, but volunteer to do it. If you know how to do it, just ma just do am comot time instead of them paying other places. Like when I started working, I was not earning, but we'll be like, we travel a lot. I'll be like, let me come now. They are not paying me. I'm comfortable, I'm learning, but I'm not being paid at first. So I'll just keep saying, I want to tag along. I want to come.
I want to learn.
I just want to come.
Yes.
Let me just be going. So that was, even to an extent, it brings trust. They can maybe give you something to do. Just they'll trust you that if this girl, we're not entitling her to do something, she's taking entitlements, not the wrong way though, to perfect something here. They'll be like, if we finally give her, she'll do it better. So that's another thing.
Okay. So what have we learned from what she's just said? I've learned something. Can anybody tell us from the example she's given? Yes, please.
I've learned, I'm not going to use her words. From my understanding, I
Yes.
feel like whatever you're giving out should have quality.
Beautiful.
They were able to retain her because what she gave had quality. That's all.
Yes. And then she showed commitment. She didn't give up. I'm sure when she first started, they said, don't worry, you're just a student. Don't worry. We're traveling. I'm sure they probably said things like that to you the very first time. You know?
Even there's another thing, like having support from home.
Yes.
It was less. But sometimes I'll have to go without even taking permission. When they'll be like, I'm in this state. You didn't tell anybody, you don't get fly. So there's a certain support that you're supposed to get from the house, but it's not there. But if you're determined to do it, you just have to make them believe. She's doing this thing, she's progressing. Like when I started politics, even till now I'm doing politics, I'm doing quite okay in politics to an extent. Even in my local government, I was kind of like the first female student that the local government gave an appointment as a student. So in the house, nobody was still, now they're like, stop that politics. But then it's favoring me, and I'm doing better to a good extent. So even though you're not getting a particular support, doesn't mean you're not supposed to have the support. You just have to keep showing them that this thing I'm doing, I'm not going to get anything wrong. Instead, it's the other way around. So
Beautiful. So I think we have something to take away from what she's just shared with us. You have a passion. You're doing something. When I started studying journalism, my father thought, why won't you go and study law? He didn't understand why. But that's what I had a passion for, you know. And I was persistent. And I tell you what, because as a journalist, if by tomorrow the publication has to come out, from 2 days before, we don't sleep. You're working round the clock because you have to go to press. There's a deadline. Everybody has to put in all of their stories, the photographs you've taken and everything. And then, first, I didn't want you to study journalism. And then, you're telling me that you have to do all-nighters, even though we had journalists in the family who were older than I was. But this time around, so how was I going to convince my dad? But I tell you, this was the News Watch paper. And then one day he picked it up, and then as a contributor to that story, you get a copy, a complimentary copy. And so I placed it by his bedside table. And then he looked at it. He didn't say anything the first day. It was me and other people because, just as you're starting off, you call yourself an apprentice. So you do the stories with other people. And then gradually, it started becoming just two people. And then it's your story. And then after a while, people would call, his friends would say, I saw my maiden name, I saw a so-and-so surname, Fatapigi, in Newswatch. Oh, it's my daughter. So if I wasn't determined and I wasn't persistent, we wouldn't have gotten there. In fact, when I said I wanted to go back to study French, he said, but you're already doing so well where you are. Why do you want to leave it to go to do something else? And I said, no, I want to be better at what I'm doing. I want to be a bilingual journalist. I want to be able to walk into a place and they say, oh, we need journalists who can speak French, and then I would do it. Even that he couldn't quite understand. So it was almost like starting all over again. But I was persistent. I was determined. So that's the way it goes. So you must, at every point, show that you really mean what you want to do. And then it's difficult if when you're a parent, you realize how difficult it is when it feels like your child is running faster than you, or faster than you think they should run. So it takes a lot of patience. You have to really, really be patient with your parents. It's important. It's important because they're afraid for you. Remember, you're leaving home, you're going away. Every parent, each one of you is dear to your parents. And so when you go away, they always feel protective of you. They always feel as if when you go away, they need to be around you to support you. So it's out of fear of letting go. Every parent goes through that. Every parent goes through that. So that's what it is. It could be as simple as, oh, I have this health concern, and I want to make sure that I do everything I can so that I don't keep having this situation all the time. So thank you, Peculiar. Thank you. So remember, we're trying to promote her brand. So is there anybody else who wants to, before we wrap up? We are going to wrap up soon. I don't know if we've enjoyed this because we're supposed to be interacting and learning from each other. I don't know if we've benefited at all from this. Okay. Yes, please.
Okay, good evening, ma'am. My name is Destiny Dimpa. So, I'm going to talk about what I learned. So, today I'm going to say that I've learned that from whatever decision you've taken in life, you have to stand by it and see that you see it through to the end. An example is that I come from a family of, like say, science students. I'm the only arts student in my house, and initially I was a science student, and my dad's dream was always of me studying medicine.
Oh wow.
Yes. So his plan was that if I had done medicine, he would send me abroad. That was his plan. So, but along the line, I think at SS1, he changed my school because I was in a science school, all science. But he took me to a mixed school, and I diverted to arts. So he took me to my principal and said that he wants me to go to science. There was war in the principal's office that day because they were like art, science, and the principal sent him out and said, leave the girl to do what she wants to do. But till today, my dad is always, I don't know, our relationship is not as strong as before due to that decision I took. And even sometimes I complain about the heat at home in Nigeria, and he'll be like, if you had done what I asked you to do, you will not be here suffering. So you have to deal with it. But then, I've been having doubts about this course I'm doing currently, but I feel whatever decision I've made, I have to see it through. Thank you.
Okay. So I'm going to ask you a question. What doubts do you have? Why do you think you're not doing? Is it because your other siblings who did science have gone abroad?
No. Yes, my brother was. The plan is to go abroad too, my brother. Mm-hmm. But the thing is that even the course I'm doing was not what I planned to do. I wanted to go into tourism and event management. That was my plan. But UST did not have that course. Yes, so I had to settle for history and international diplomacy, which is also in line with also traveling and stuff like that. That was why I settled in it. But even this history, what I'm seeing was not what I set or planned for.
History is very wide. It's
yes,
very vast.
very, very, very broad.
But you can do it.
Yes.
What year are you in?
I'm in my finals.
You see? You've made it.
Hopefully.
You've made it. But that doesn't stop you. Because you can do this and still do what you have a passion for. In fact, what happens is that you get to do it better. Because you're more mature, you've got some experience, and you get to do it better. Okay? Does anyone? Yes, please.
Okay, ma'am. For me, I feel like everything we've learned, time management, persistency, everything still boils down to know your achievements. Because I feel like maybe when it comes to procrastinating something, if you procrastinate, when you come back to think, you'll be like, if I did this thing, oh, this is what I would have achieved. Achievements. If I did not do this one, this is what I would have achieved. Everything. If I believe in myself, if I did this one, everything just boils down to achievements. Whatever you do, just try to know that this, if I try to do this thing, this is what I'm meant to achieve. So no matter what comes, just know your achievement and everything.
Okay. Right, thank you. Quickly.
Okay.
Sorry, I want to just say these examples you've given, about like at home, your parents not wanting you to study that thing you have a passion for. Those are some of the barriers, I hope you understand that, because anything that stops you from, you're going in this direction and something stops you from going that, it's a barrier, isn't it? So, just before you speak, what about when you're doing something you have a passion for, but somehow you get in there, for those of you in the sciences, and then, some of you do engineering and all of that, and then they're treating you as if because you're a female, you can't do well. Have we experienced those things? So even, this is family now, we know those ones. But then when you get out there, you love this course you're doing. In fact, you're excelling in it at school. And then you go out, even in the industry, you're doing so well. But somehow somebody's imagined she's a girl, she's a lady, she thinks she can compete with me. How do we deal with that? Let's think about it, yes, while we're listening to her.
To me, I'm the course rep for my department, which is mainly boys. How I deal with
What's your course?
marine engineering.
Marine engineering.
How I deal with them is that I don't make them feel like they are communicating with their fellow girl. If they try to be rugged, I'll show them, yes, me too, I can be rugged. So, how will I put it? Most times in my department, they call me man, because when I'm in my department, if I'm communicating with my course mates, that thing you think, I try to prove to them that thing you think you can do as a man, me, if I put my focus, I'll do it better.
Because you're studying, you're throwing yourself.
Yes, so what to deal with that kind of thing is just, as the way as how will I put it? Since you're surrounded by men, just try and blend in. Maybe one or two, just learn one or two things. Like most times, what they discuss about is football. At least you to just have a knowledge. So when you are talking, you can chip in one or two things.
Yes,
I'm not
because
seeing you like they are chatting with like a girl that doesn't know anything, that have not seen anything.
Yes.
But they are seeing you as maybe like tomboy or like their fellow guy too.
Thank you. So improve your knowledge base. Don't leave it just down to one thing. Just improve your knowledge base. You have to keep learning, know about contemporary things. Okay, what's happening in River State today?
State of emergency.
State of emergency, thank you. And there's a lot of things around it. You may say it's political, but at least be aware. So when people are talking about it, your classmates in school are talking about it, just as she said. And then you're not a novice. You know that Manu is playing Arsenal today. If you don't have a father who is a football lover, you have a brother, or you have a cousin, or even your classmates, because you hear them rushing. They want to leave the class because they want to finish and do something so they can watch that match. So you too will, even if you didn't watch the match, at least you just listen to the highlights. Or check online, get the highlights. So when they are talking, you're talking from a position of knowledge. So are we accelerating? Are we accelerating? Thank you. Let's let her say something.
So from what she said, okay, she was one that spoke of our parents trying to, like me, I'm also like the only arts person in my house, and I was going for law. My dad was like, it's diabolic. I have religious parents. It's diabolic. It's this one. You gotta put your hand in batting. You join secret societies and the rest. So yes. So I did my job for myself. I did what I wrote down what I wanted, and luckily for me, I got merit list. So it was my daughter is not going to be a lawyer and the rest of it. And when I got into the system, it was not looking all hard. Like this was not the law like I thought about. It was seeming very difficult. But one thing I want to say is always remember why you started. Always look back. Why did I pick? Like why? What drove me to this point? Yes. Why? What drove me to this point? What made me to take this step? I think that would help you to be balanced at some point. That will help you to be persistent in whatever you want to do. When you remember that, oh, this is the reason why I started. This is the reason why I took this step. Just imagine if you give up in the middle of it. It will be like a whole big failure and the rest.
Thank you. Okay. Has anyone, have we observed in some families where they make sure that the boys get the attention, especially for education? Even if you don't come from one, I'm sure you've heard stories about these things. You know, have we heard anything about those? Okay. So there's some of those harsh patriarchal family dynamics, you know, the boys get the attention more than the girls. We have such situations. At least we know about one or two. So, you know, there's some homes where the boys are given attention. It still happens. The fees for the boys will be paid, and they say the girls, no, go and learn something, go and do, you know. We don't have money for your fees. And even when they do, they just couldn't be bothered because they think you're just a girl. Are you just a girl? You're built for great things. You're built to achieve. And so what is it that we need to do? Just keep doing what you're doing. Make sure you're excelling. Do it to the best of your ability. It's so important because that's the only way you compete. It's a harsh world out there. There's so many people out there doing the same things you're doing. So what's your edge? Is being excellent. If you do it so good, even if all you do is fold over this, folding it properly, just folding it exactly like this, and you do it so well, somebody's going to be looking for you just for that reason. Okay, so my suggestion is that we should consistently remain excellent at what we do. And sometimes if you think you're making a mistake, you can actually look back, take a few steps back, ask questions, get someone to mentor you, get people who can appraise, you know, do an appraisal for you. Please take a look at this thing I'm doing. Am I doing it right? We did an exercise. Do we have our cardboard sheets? Have somebody that you can share this with who will remind you. Hey sis, hey my friend, what are you doing? How about that thing? Remember you're your own best friend, and that's why you have this cardboard sheet on your board somewhere in your room. As you wake up in the morning, you see it. So you remember. And you have to constantly keep doing appraisals on yourself because you want to be sure that you're taking steps in the right direction. And then if you're not doing it right, because you're getting someone else to look into what you're doing, mentoring you, you stop in your tracks and then start moving in the right direction. You don't want to make a mistake for too long, do you? No, I don't want to. So make sure that whatever you're doing, you're in school, it's your brand, you're working somewhere. Make sure that that teacher, that supervisor, that employer, if I walk up to the firm where you work and I ask about you, are they going to recommend you to me? You know. So we want that excellence. If I see your paint brand and I put it up and I say, where's Peculiar? She stepped away. And I put that brand up and I ask questions. Have you used it before? If I if I buy that brand and I use it, am I going to be able to recommend it to other people? So that's very important. So that if you have to fight for your position, anybody around you who's worked with you, who's observed the way you do your things, that you do them properly, you're very meticulous, they'll justify it. They'll say, oh yes, I can speak for her. She does it right. So it might be another young man in the same company where you work. But somebody is going to recommend you because you're so good at what you're doing and you're focused. It's important also to keep records of every task you do. You do something, keep records of it. You have assignments you're given at work, in school. Always make sure you have records. It's very important because it will help you. You'll go back to it, make reference to it, and it makes you a better person because you learned from what you've done before. You keep striving at it and see how much you can get better at it. So we're wrapping up now because I really have to go now. And so on a final note, keep thinking, brainstorm. Even if you have to ask someone else, this is what I want to do, or this is what I'm doing. Please take a look at it. Am I doing it right? You know. You can support other women. We look out for ourselves. This is our month, isn't it? What are we doing now? We're looking out for ourselves because we're bringing up the conversation. We're talking about these things so we can improve on ourselves. Look for other women too like you who have gone before you or who have done this thing before. You can partner with other women. Ask questions. And I tell you, you can't go wrong. You'll just keep getting better. So as individuals, we can all take steps in our daily lives to positively impact women's advancement, starting with ourselves. Because you have to first believe in yourself before you can hold someone's hand, not so. And so we're going to do something now. Can we get up? I hold your hand.
If we were to pay, I'm not even sure we can afford to. Okay, all of you guys, bring money, contribute. 100 naira. Let's pay our guest speaker. Please, can we put our hands together for our guest speaker, who despite her very busy schedule has come. She came prepared with all of this drawing. That's to tell you that she had put in a lot of effort. She was deliberate about being here because she could have come without all this preparation. It's her cardboard, it's her markers, and it's her time as well. So, Atinde, thank you very much for being here. Thank you for coming to speak to them. Yes. Thank you. Thank you so very much. My boss is and my colleague are on. We will take them as they come, but M&G Etomi Foundation. We have two founders, Mike and George Etomi. So Mr. George Etomi is on. He will speak with you guys briefly. He and his twin brother co-founded the foundation and all of the things that I was telling you guys about. So we will hear from him quickly. George, can you hear us, Mr. Etomi? Please double check. He's not. Anne can hear him, but we can't hear. Anne, can you speak for a minute? Let's see if it's from Uncle George's device. No, so we can't hear our online panelists. Just hold on, Mr. Etomi. Hold on. Hold on a minute. So, what? Okay. Delight, please can we take pictures with the guest speaker before she runs away? So while I saw the audio out, can you guys come for a group photo? Because she will soon go. So grab her now. Take your pictures, your selfies, whatever it is you want. Because once she steps out of here, she's off. Let me just call. Yes, I did. Let me just call. Okay, so let's hear. Yes, I did.
Hello, Farmer.
Yes, Mr. Tommy, you're on now. The students can hear you.
Hi, good evening to our wonderful participants and our guest speaker. I've already sent a message to say big thank you. She's family to us, but we don't take her for granted. I listened all through out, and I like the way it was interactive. Of yourselves. Thank you very much. My pleasure. Thank you.
Then the other one was just like a new line I got just in case of emergency. So at home, just like I distance myself from everybody. That's the okay reason is there are so many reasons to that, but then I did architecture in Kepuri. I did just OND. I didn't do HND. Yeah. And then I went to RSU studying geography for 2 years and I dropped out. So this is like the third degree I'm doing, but I successfully did one. The other I didn't continue. So this one I'm doing quantity surveying now, right? And okay, for now, for like a very long time, this is my 300 level. I'm the one like seeing through for myself. My mom was like, the money I'm always paying you don't finish you. If you had done better, you would have been a graduate by now. You would have been done with your service and everything. So I cater for myself to a very large extent. My siblings come through for me. But if I ask my mom for money, she tell me she doesn't have laundry. She will not give to me. She sometimes she tell me I dey save my money for my children when they work. So right now I'm tired. I barely in school I have so much difficulties. I used to be the culture, but then my staff advisor, I don't know his issue with me here. It was like he doesn't like me. There are some courses I don't feel those courses. I've even met the lecturers. I don't feel them, but he intentionally gives me F. To an extent, there's a 7 unit course to and he gave me an F. It's design. If you have D in design, just know that you have extra E. In my faculty, that's how design is. Design is like the most elaborate course where we go about doing jewelry. We don't used to write exams in design, we just do jewelry, go for site works and all those things. So my exams are record. I had B initially in the design, but my exams are record gave me F because he felt I was not like I'm not. I used to tell him that I'm not supposed to have B, that I cannot have B. That was how my GPA went from 4.8. I'm in first class because I did 4.8 as at 200 level first semester. I'm in 4.8 now. I'm in 1.2. That's how 7 units. Thing just shake a whole lot of things. So I had to reach out to some persons. The BC of my school and I have a very good relationship here. So I told him this is what I'm going through. Not even just that course, because my CPA moved from 4.8 to 1.2 in one semester without even writing exam. Just as a result they drop, they come down. So that was like, it's so tiring. I've gone to meetings. So what did I do? You like me? Oh yeah, you like me? Talk. He said I should please leave his office. I've met lecturers. Even when I complained to my HOD was like, is your staff advisor, is the exams and record, he knows best. I was like, Sadis, I don't they get extra you and till I graduate, I'll be doing 10 courses. We don't have space. The only space we have is 1 unit. So my extra year set one, it will be like 2 more years. And I don't even know my parents because my mom, she's this academic, my mom is a civil servant, Ministry of Education. So she's this academic inclined person. At the end of every semester, you show her your result. Whether they train you or she must sit. Because my pikin they go school, I'm disciplining other children. My own will call it bad. So anything you're doing, you must show your result at the end of every semester. So I'm not even for like since my year two second first semester, she has not seen my result and she's been like, this politics you do 9 days spoil your result because the way we do in my house, I'm the last child of 4 siblings. I have two female older siblings, and then our first child is a guy, is married, is his family, and then everybody has access to your butter. I have access to every other person's butter. That's how we don't hide things a lot. That's how we raise. My mom raised us in a manner that we can be each other's anchor. It's better sometimes there are some things my mom don't know about me, but my siblings know everything to an extent about me. So it's very difficult. I'm tired. Like I've not gone to work all through this month. I barely go to school. I don't even shop for my brand. Sometimes people be like, I want to get something. I'm like, it's not. It's It's there. I make everything I sell, lip gloss and stuff. I make them up. I'm just tired. I don't have the energy to keep doing those things. Even in WASU, there are some, I think for like 3 weeks, I didn't go to Congress. I gave an excuse that I was sick. But I didn't just have the strength to go and be addressing people, like put myself together. The energy is not there. I just stay at home, like isolating myself. And then in terms of it, like, they fight everybody. Sometimes they'll prepare food and they'll not add me, like, they're not cooking plus me eating. So this, I'm tired. I'm tired. Like, I don't have the strength to do more, the strength to push, the strength to go. I'm just